I'm kind of as I guys. Charging my phone. There's no electricity in my apartment. Mostly everyone in my family works away and exposed. So they retaliate by stealing from me, by staying in my homes without my permission, by stealing my vehicles, by getting in the way of nursing. They're trying to rape me, they're trying to abuse me, they're trying to. So I'm seeking the death penalty for everyone that steals from me, everyone that gets employed and receives money, everyone that stays in my home without my permission, everyone that steals my vehicle, that pays people illegally for people to pretend to be have some curses that never occurred. That pay people illegally to pretend to be me, they're just a waste of time. They look for people that they find inferior to them, or set people to pretend to be me for them to feel above the people that they hire. Working next to me, I make them feel like an equal, but they're so low class, so low level intelligence, which is why I didn't pursue them. That they couldn't ever have a relationship with me. I don't use drugs, I don't steal, I don't murder, I don't rape. I'm not a pedophile. I consider having sex with babies pedophilia. Need to each their own if they're safely doing that. There's parents that provide self care. I mean, I'm a product most likely of being a baby that was touched by a lot of people where I grew up in because my parents would attend orgies, but that to some people is considered wondrous. But personally, I wouldn't ever want to be with a baby without the baby being able to give consent. Porque I would, that would be like terrible if one finds out. Not because of rejection, but like I wouldn't want to be like near a baby and then that baby grows up and says like, yeah, you used to be like near my baby parts. I don't find you attractive. So that would be awkward. Totally respectable. What else? 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 I'm born. I'm heading soon to a few places to go for. I don't have money to pay electricity right now. My apartment has no electricity. Well, mostly everyone in my family were just trying to imagine that they raped me in the dark. That's how they waste their time. They're so disgusting. Decades ago, they would treat people like that. They're worse than animals. They're embarrassing. They tried to treat me as if I'm a toddler because I did my toddler exploration in orgies, supposedly, where relatives of my parents were out and other people. So they obsess with me and they're like, I'm just gonna treat her as she's the toddler, like the baby of the family, literally. They can't have a home, a vehicle, or money. Okay, I want like the street cred that I have that. Oh, they're embarrassing. They have no self-esteem. They are insignificant. They planet. I'm seeking the death penalty for all of them. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm seeking the death penalty for thousands of people. Mostly hundreds of them are in my family of origin. And I have sadly all the evidence to document it. And as for it, they're very much direct in their abuse towards one. Their background. A lot of them bullied me through Facebook in 2020. Others hire people with money that they steal from me to bully me. They're embarrassing. They're so gross. They never do the right thing. So those. What else? What else? What else? In the meantime, the stadium is going. And I'm doing this. I bought this book. I got this book at CVS the other day. So lovely. I'm like about halfway through the puzzle in this book. What else? What else? What else? What else? When I'm financially stable, when my vagina is wet, I plan to travel the planet and meet people ideally polyamorously. I'm tired of behind this post. NATO, Interpol, the U.S. Department of Justice, the Department of Homeland Security. I've been laughing at those people that want to rape me, my family. If they thought that they could steal my money and I would go on to have my children separated from me and go on to talk to them behind the scenes and get sexually harassed by them or have my children be sexually harassed by them, like these videos are so much more productive to me than talking to those people that I grew up around. I've missed out on a good conversation or two because there's like sadly a handful of people out of hundreds in my family of origin that one can have a conversation with, and some of them just for fun give out money. But I don't find the risk is too much to talk to the harassers and rapists just to get to those people. They're extended family to me. They're not like anyone that's really, really close. I don't even remember their names on purpose. Some of them are victims of the people that have abused me. So I don't need to protect their identity. I don't go on saying so. Fulanita Lorenzo y Fulanito Lorenzo me han apoyado todo este tiempo, aunque yo no hable con él o con ella. They made me mad. They're like, "Ah, see what I did." Porque my friends know that I'm a good person. My kids know that I'm a good person. Everyone knows that I'm a good person. Like her, but always one day at least in all of this ordeal, I felt the need for a shout out so that people don't go on confusing me for being one of those terrorists. I've heard that happen decades ago. They're like, you can't give me a shout out. Like, I'm not insecure, but like, that I would get praise. What else is to set myself apart from the rest? That's when I've heard like a lot of people extended colleagues in particular start checking up on them, say, are you okay? They're like, I'm not the terrorist. They're okay. I didn't think you were, but I'm just checking up on you. That's when they want credit like, for a few seconds, but then they're okay. Because they've been okay the entire time. It's like I've been getting way too many colleagues trying to judge my character for a few seconds just to see if I'm the terrorist or not. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I want to visit Jane and Kinoni in Tampa next week. What is a penciler? See if I know that. I need to visit a dentist. I'm just paying for that service. Who's gifting me money today? You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. You can decapitate everyone that steals from me. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicles. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate everyone that's caused Aiden Kinani to be separated from me. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money so that Aiden Kinani continues separated from me. It's May 26th, 2025. What else? 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 You can decapitate Gamino Scatterdo, steals from me, steals from Jaden, steals from Kinani. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Arlene Lorenzo that she's so immature, so gross. Has it in her head that I'm a toddler because that's around the last time that I did toddler exploration. She wants credit for being like the sexiest that I was with. So does my sister Marilyn. So does some distant relatives. They're so disgusting. So they're like, keep her for one day she's gonna go public with that. We're the women that she's had sex with. I'm like, no, you aren't. I was jumping on everyone as if it were a trampoline, a seesaw, or a swing. That's normal for toddlers. And I have a right to do so. People can go into an orgy and just have sex without feelings. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They're stupid. They attach their self-esteem to other people. Yeah. They stay in my homes without my permission. They steal my vehicles. They're like, no, she's a toddler still. Steal our vehicle. I'm 44. I'll be turning 45 next month. Ew, 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 ew. With that shit, then I'm living with the family. I haven't done this. My stuff aren't with me. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. You can decapitate everyone that's going to receive money. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicles, my driver's license, my Lexus RCF for myself today. I'm gonna say Texas for a little bit. I'm gonna visit Houston by myself, and you can only go a few places that I want to try out. There's a few hotels, restaurants that I've opened specifically in the past 5 to since I've been in Texas. And it's like, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? 9 years ish. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. Need a home for myself and Jaden and Keonani ASAP. And I have homes in Puerto Rico that I can't get to, so I'll have to sue people to get my feet back of my home. If people are stolen from me, you can make up to persons that rape me, that's the only money that I don't know, I never see money. Money that's so disgusting. And most likely, so when they believe that's my first thing from me, against arranged marriage from me decades ago. Just for him to like calm down, like a one night stand, and even one night stand one day. You're patient, it would be good. He raped me in 2017, 2016, they traffic me into poverty because he thinks he's above me. I laugh at him every chance that I get. I thought he was poor when I met him in 2016. Ew, 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 ew. And then I laugh. And when I say, those clouds are so pretty. What else? Anyway, so he and some people in Puerto Rico and other parts fake dating for decades. So they fake were having a relationship. And when he raped me, they thought that I would go on to be like to distant relatives. Well, this man raped me. They would have been like, my husband that takes me out on dates. Pero mira, no, 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 tú estás equivocada. Mira todas estas fotos de cómo él me hizo el amor y estos videos. Mira todo esto. Out, they're stupid. Con una vez that they confessed to being stupid, which was decades ago, I'll remember, which is why I've never saw a relationship with them. They're stupid. They want to be reminding me every day, apparently, that they're stupid. You can decapitate whatever it is. You can decapitate Michael Norman that raped me in 2016. You can decapitate your money. So it's the sons that raped me that steal my money, that get away with your money. Son unos puercos, una basura. They have an achievement status and I hate Benjamin. He's like, that's not fair. That you're gonna get kids that are gonna be like magically beautiful from day one and will behave based on your behavior and that baby daddy that they're gonna have. Come on, teach my kids how to be men. So he gets annoyed when me receiving money. Or is scared. It's like, why are you not here for money? Because he wants his kids to at least for a day be men. He trafficked Edgar and I didn't even remember when she put Edgar in there. That helped me traffic Edgar and I into Edgar joining the Air Force so that we could have kids peacefully, Edgar and I. Because I'm a victim of that. Like I am a victim of home invasion. There's people running out in my homes without my permission. They steal my keys. They steal my vehicles. Jennifer Marie Vasquez. It's the opposite of some phrase. Jennifer Marie Vasquez in 1998. People were like, eso parece un mono con el carro de Arlene que se tomó. People would show up to my parents and with pictures of her in my vehicle and tell me like you need to kill her right away. This looks so bad for the island. It's like a monkey on in your vehicle. ¡Fo! ¡Qué asco! ¡Qué vergüenza! Like literally, I have friends basically next week. Killers of defense. No. I don't want to be driving around with my friends. And that monkey shows it up. Run into her while she's driving your vehicle with the dog. My daddy and my mommy raised me to be a mercenary that kills us. Lazy, according to my parents. So I'm seeking my dad's gets in the way of mercy, like so that I make awareness of the people that steal from me. And I feel it doesn't have to be I give some penalty or the Department of Justice. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Like I'm overwhelmed. I have like hundreds of people to kill in self-defense. I know. What else? What else? What else? And I'm so peaceful. You're welcome. If you met the love of your life, so basically, a lot of the people that I grew up around, people compare it to a third world country. I don't know what that is. I've never witnessed people as dumb as the people that I grew up around. What else? What else? What else? What else? So, whenever there's one like me that's really smart and well behaved, whenever there's one like Jaden and Pilani that's very smart and well behaved, people praise that. Porque mostly everyone in my family origins a rapist, murderer. So it's like we have to go with them. We have one support out of hundreds in the 5-year-old category when I was 5. And Bumbo, though, my dad told me about Bumbo a little bit later, or he reminded me about Bumbo a little bit later. Okay, I understand human rights and I understand that in a normal relationship of girls, willing and available and encouraged to say to a guy or to a girl, I like you, let's go on a date, and I'll be like, I'm gonna like move my cool off in front of this guy for years and he still hasn't taken me out on a date. That mostly everyone that I grew up around is an illegal prostitute. So they're like, the man needs to invite me. And if I invite him into that, I'll take a checkbook and I'll make him feel less than. So they all have ulterior motives, sadly. So literally out of mostly everyone that I grew up around, people are like, okay, we have a girl there in the 5-year-old category. We have a boy and a girl in the 13-year-old category that's smart and supports this. So basically, like for almost like every 10 years, they'll produce, it felt like, one or two people that are well behaved. So a lot of it gets released due to that. It's not necessarily that I'm like approving of it. It's like on my own. There's possibly people in California. There's people in Asia. There's people in other parts of the planet. They're like we also get surveyed-ish informally and formally of like what do you think is a good time to release all of these social media? Is the planet ready for it? So they're like they confirm, they're like, yeah, all of this area in California is ready, all of this area in Canada is ready, and they go state by state by state by state by area for the entire planet, and they're like, what about Puerto Rico? Like literally, there's like one in every like 100 of people ratio that is ready for this. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They think that they can be trendsetters by getting in the way of trends. They're stupid with tools. Mostly everyone that I grew up around, they hate education because they're trying to look for the lowest level educated person to rape and to steal money from. So they object to education. What else? 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 You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. You can decapitate everyone that steals my money. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicles. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of me saving money. It's May 26, 2025. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez's sons that drug me, that raped me, that facilitated people raping me. That one of them got in the way of my marriage with Jander supuestamente decades ago. I would never pursue Jander. I don't think he's man enough and very busy, according to himself decades ago. I wish him well. He could be a victim of a lot of abuse on behalf of my family of worship. According to his mother decades ago. What else? 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 Um, I'm bored. You can decapitate and then Malave. He stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, steals my money, and or pays people to illegally misrepresent me. What else? What else? What else? What else? Better shop today. PayPal. You can give me money in person to PayPal. It's AR Blue Sky Designs Code, Pensando straight to my heart. Arlene Lorenzo card. Shop INTAYIAFAY at entire shop. My GoFundMe campaign is gofundme.com/f/Arlene-Lorenzo-7. You can decapitate Gilbert Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Evelyn Lorenzo Acevedo. They're terrorists. They're soldiers. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They're out of touch with their bodies sometimes. Yeah, they're embarrassing. What else? Oh my god. Which one is the Arrested. I'm visiting Kilomington for next week. Let's give it to a minute. Today. Please pick my interest in that. I haven't had sex since 2016. You can decapitate Richie Hill that raped me in 2023. Yes, they're so disgusting. Ew, they show up when one is like crying on the internet and one is and they don't build one up if they have one's money today. They're like, you're gonna stay in homeless shelter. They don't get one out of the homeless shelter immediately and say, I'm ready to stay here. Get on it. Go find yourself, like, even if it's like it could have been like a home at the arts residences, it could have been an apartment here in the Queens, it could have been an apartment near the Rim area or a home at the Dominion or in Austin or in Houston or whatever, like we could have met up. Uh, he possibly has the money to date me that he's stolen from me. My part of the money to date him. Ew, do that. There's some girls, they want to be in control because one is so pretty. They're like, esta no la van a quitar ya mismo. full. They're embarrassing. They fake that they want a Catholic marriage, or maybe they do with people, but they take one hostage. Full. They don't healthily compete in dating. Ew. So I'm like, boy, I can't sustain this. You're just hurting me. He may be a victim of people trying to kill him because they know, mostly everyone in my family, unfortunately, knew that I think he's really pretty. He's really, wow, like, wow, as an adult, he's gorgeous. What the fuck? He's really tall, he's very handsome, he's very eloquent too, very smart, very pretty, emotionally unstable as fuck, but very pretty. I had not seen him since he was like 13 years old, and I was around 19. What else? I stopped attending family parties decades ago. I don't know if he even attends. Just to not run into the people that I need to kill in self-defense. And there's some parties that are. Do they still schedule the party in the city? What else? Decades ago. Jandel Malavesa, if he and I dated, he would just have to bed and I put it in my hand and walk with me all through Aguada, Puerto Rico, and have me stabbed to death. The people that are so inferior, so gross. What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. What else? I want to eat a la papa next month. And I want to visit the beach in Puerto Rico. I don't know which one. What else? They use illegal hookers, possibly Michigan. It's like, oh, her best friend. And he knows it's not my best friend. He's a little bit no more celebrating his birthday with a best friend. Yo, you can take out the genius and that it is so Suarez that steals my money, gets in the way of me receiving money, stays in my home without my permission, steals my vehicles, and then went on to tell me decades ago when I was like 19 or 17 that it's so easy for her to rape my Christians. She's embarrassing, esa tipa da un asco. Es una basura, una asquerosina, una puerca asquerosa. Lleva violando más de 40 años. Ew. Es una puerca. People coordinated for me to kill her at a Santeros game, and I even attended the. That is so weird. Or maybe that was her. But I attended a Santeros game, and she was there, like sitting near me too, and I'm like, I walked up to her, and I just laughed. Not like her, but I'm like, I looked towards the left side of my shoulder. I'm like, and I did this face like, ew. The curiosidad is there. Also, I walked up to her and then I got into her. This is so easy to kill her in self-defense. I don't want to. And I looked at the game is gonna start again. I don't want to ruin the outcome of the game, the score. There was possibly a cleanup crew right there formally too, to take her body away, and I didn't do it. I just walk up to her and laugh at her by like smiling, like it would be so easy to kill you. Ew. Ella da un asco, es una basura, una asquerosidad. What else? I'm bored. Ese other puerco asqueroso even went on to try to get me to not have babies with Edgar. And she had to. La Ginny Gendaliris puerca es asquerosa. They wanted to literally throw them onto me and be like, Ginny Gendaliris was your surrogate because you wanted a polyamorous marriage with me and you didn't try. And she raped me, so that's trying to a sex addict and a porn addict. That's trying what she does. They're like, at least she's available. Yeah. So she had 2 kids, and he tried to get in the way of me having babies, which is why Benjamin also stepped in more for him than for me to not allow him to commit genocide that way. Porque he steals my money, he steals my homes, he steals my vehicles, he gets in the way of me receiving money. So his intention was that I didn't have dating money, and that I would consider her a surrogate, which I wouldn't ever, because she's a rapist, murderer, and thief. And that I would get attached to her kids. For them to be like, see, we got you to not have kids, and Ginny Gendalitis even had the kids for you. They're disgusting. Do they cry? Or they go on to have a kid? Like nowadays, antes de que se les seque no baño, and say I better have a kid and reverse my supuestamente she has a hysterectomy. And some of them the hysterectomy can't be reversed, but the way that it's done. So I've heard that they have regrets. Some of them that they forgot. I think she's the only one in her family of origin that pays the person. They pick a person to emulate that character. Like, so and so has a great life. She steals, she rapes, she murders. Ew. You can decapitate Jordan and Tashna if they stay in my home without my permission, steal from me, get in the way of my finances. Otherwise, the rape babies, well, they may not see themselves as rape babies. They may be very confident. They may have someone in the communities that I grew up around that looks after them and says like, "Tu madre es una puerca," that they may be. Some of those kids like say, "Oh, and that's their whole intention." They think that we're gonna associate it with me, which is why, like, I've never gotten close to anyone, anyways, and I don't ever intend to. What they want, Andrew, for example, when he hears Jordan and Taishna possibly saying, "Madre es una puerca asquerosa," he wants to just think about me as if I were the mother of that one. I'm not. So he's like, haha, he's a terrorist. So basically, he thinks he bred two terrorists that go on to say, my mother is not puerca, that people would think about me, but they think about Jimmy and Davies. That is bred there. And there's people in the family of origin, like those people that I mentioned earlier that I don't even know their names, that they spread awareness, and there's always like someone that goes on to tell those kids, like, even though tu madre no sirve para nada, y tú no tienes padre, you they just take to get her pregnant. What else? What else? You can have like a great life. They possibly fund them. on the DL or not so on the DL later. So like this has started getting me money for like my life and is looking out for me. So basically, that's also like for protection too, for the mother to not hurt them. Like I have people that are looking out for me, even give me money. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I wish them well. I met her once, decades ago, before I came home. And they see like regular kids, regular Puerto Rican kids. After I like, I can't like just have dinner with them. What else? What else? What else? What else? But one haters so much, so like one tries to like have dinner with them. They're like, oh, if one day she's hurting about you, or one day she's hurting about me. The people that respect you. But after I had Kehlani, I'm like, I can't like do that to myself or to Jaden Kehlani and literally like go out with la asquerosa como que dio que se hace pasar por me with my crutches that didn't work out and her two kids porque that's not healthy for anyone. What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. They literally have no goals in life. My dad hates the good people. What else? What else? What else? When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel the planet and meet people ideally from your person. I'm excited. You can decapitate Ginny Dendalini sobre sus padres. You can decapitate Ramirez. He may be a hostage of them. What else? 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 Ginny Dendalini proved that she still attends orgies and tries to impose happiness. Most unwelcome guest, she's orgies. Es bruta. Es bruta. Ew. Like I asked my parents like to go to stop bringing me to orgies porque she just ruined the fun. Started like claiming people and be like, you ew. Ew, 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 ew. Es bruta. She thinks that she's like the queen of polyamory. She rapes people. She's been raping for decades. She stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, steals my money, and then rapes my crushes. And then she thinks that she's the queen of polyamory because in pictures and in videos, she thinks that people can't tell that she rapes. Es bruta, es un asco. As if there are other people in the planet that are truly like queens in polyamory. That's how it's stupid she is. It's like they create a persona for themselves. Ew, they try to literally put themselves in one's life. So it's like if they took on the role of Erin Brockovich for a movie, if they took on the role of Frankenstein for a movie, they're embarrassing, they're so gross. She literally possibly decades ago, the, people would mock her like as to stop like trying to be Arlene and be yourself. People would be like, "What do you really expect? Like to for Arlene to change her profile picture on Facebook picture?" What can people say that when I was younger, she would visualize herself in my dad's car as the fourth child instead of me. Ew, very grossly. Her parents were working, so my parents would look after her when I was very little. And she thinks that she's better than me. Huh? That's no woman. She's very embarrassing. And my siblings fund her and seek for people to fund her because she lets my siblings, they don't have sex, they're like animals on top of each other, pretending that Jimmy and Dalid is me. So my siblings are always looking for people to fund Ginny Gendaliris and they steal from me and they fund Ginny Gendaliris. They're like, this is who we want to keep alive because she let us pretend that she's Arlene. My siblings are sex addicts, they're porn addicts. They're so gross. Ew, ew, ew. Embarrassing. They're embarrassing. In the meantime, I stayed in the same room. When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel and I meet people I do. Where will I go first? What time is it? 27. And then head over to sounds like church. What time is it? Oh, time to get to the bus. This one.